Yo, what's going on? This video is all about the tech that I'm using every single day, and we can't get far into the video without talking about these. These are my favorite pieces of tech throughout this whole entire video, hands down. Now, these are the glasses that I used to use every single day. They're my prescription, they help me see. But now I was able to load my prescription onto these bad boys, which are the Meta AI Ray-Ban glasses. Definitely said that wrong. I recently picked up these glasses and they're my favorite for so many different reasons. First of all, they wear just like my regular glasses. If I didn't tell you that these were AI glasses, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't notice. So some of the highlights about these glasses is that they have AI baked into them. I could say, hey Meta, tell me the weather, or hey Meta, how many teaspoons are in an ounce, and it will reply to me with the open ear technology. That's the second thing I like about these glasses, is that there's open ear speaker technology. So I can listen to music, I can interact with the AI, I can take phone calls without having to have anything in my ears, which has been huge for me. These bad boys are also equipped with a pretty decent camera. It's not the best camera by any means. It's 12 megapixels for photos, and it does 1080p for recording, and it doesn't really do the best in low light. But even though it doesn't have the greatest specs on paper, these are probably one of my favorite cameras to use. Because in the right conditions, you can just click this button right here and it will start recording or take a picture. And it gets videos and pictures of things that you typically wouldn't be able to record because your hands are full. So I've been enjoying using these to capture videos and moments of me playing pickleball with my friends and family, frisbee, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you know that. And when it comes to getting those videos and photos on your device, it's super simple. It comes with a companion app called Meta AI, and you're easily able to sync the photos that you just took to your phone through this device, and it keeps a log of some of the conversations that you have, just in case you want to revisit it for later. When I'm listening and using these glasses all day, I get about 3 to 4 hours of usage, then I have to pop it into the case right here. This case is such a cool design because it looks like a regular carrying case, but when you pop it in, it automatically starts charging. It's hard to do with one hand. When you pop it in, it automatically starts charging your device, which you can tell by that green indicator right there. And to charge the case, you just use this USB-C. So this combo of glasses plus a charging case gets you a total of 36 hours continuous, which is amazing. Now, while this is my favorite tech in this entire video, there's some drawbacks. One is the camera isn't the best in low light, like I mentioned. There is a very noticeable delay when you're watching something on your phone and you're listening to it. It's like the mouths are moving and it's just not catching up, and it just looks really weird, like that, which makes it nearly impossible to edit videos. Now, even with all that said, these are still my favorite pieces of tech because I get my hands back. And you may have noticed I haven't posted a long form video in like 4 months, and it's because I got a new baby. Introducing Oso. This is my brand new baby. This is Oso. He's 2 months old. He's amazing, but a lot of the tech that I'm using in this video to include these glasses is because I wanted to be around him more, and I wanted to be closer to him and more attached and more present in the moment. Isn't that right, Oso? Yes. All right. All right, next up we have my laptop, which is my preferred laptop of choice lately. Last year I upgraded from my M1 MacBook Pro to the M4 MacBook Pro, the latest model, and this thing has been an absolute beast. I have zero regrets. Is that a chip? Oh no. Oh no, I chipped it. Now, I opted for the space black version because they got rid of the gray that I liked so much, but this is the 512 gigabyte version, and it has 24 gigabytes of unified memory, which is basically RAM. I'm always opting for the base model. I'm a base model guy through and through. But even though this is the lowest spec that you can get in the 16-inch version, it still has been a beast with my workflows, which are, of course, video editing, 4K footage, which is pretty intensive. Of course, browsing the web with 1,000 tabs open is snappy and responsive, and then doing some light photo edits in Lightroom is easy. This is a great device for anyone looking to invest in a laptop for productivity for the next 4 years of usage. Now, I typically use this inside the house because I'm not traveling a bunch anymore, but I'm typically getting about, 16 hours of usage before I have to pop it into a charger. So great battery life. It is a little bit heavy though. It's a little bit on the heavier side. But if I have to sacrifice a little bit of weight for the amount of ports, I'm definitely doing that. This has all the ports I could ever hope and dream for. You got your HDMI, your USB-C, your SD, and then you got 2 more USB-Cs, and then you got your MagSafe. It's ports for days. I gotta love it. Now, the only downside with being a base model guy is that there's not a lot of storage, and as a person who shoots video, you can fill up 512 gigabytes super fast, which is why I always pair my devices with a external SSD. This is the Samsung T7 SSD, and it pretty much travels everywhere I go. Everywhere this laptop goes, this SSD goes because it has all my video projects on it. This is about a terabyte, and I fill up a terabyte about once every year. The read and write speeds are really good on this. I don't just store my files on here, but I'm able to edit off of it very quickly. I have this generic Velcro that I use, and I just stick it onto the back of my system, and that way I can take it around with me on the go. Now, working directly off a laptop is great, but when I'm actually trying to get some hardcore work done, I'm working here. I'm working at a desk, and when I'm working at a desk, I use a mouse. When I'm using a mouse, I use the Logitech MX Master 3S. It's amazing. Now, I've been using this mouse and talking about this mouse for like the last 3 years straight, and so much so that Logitech is actually sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, myself and a whole lot of other creators on YouTube and other platforms are using this mouse for a lot of different reasons, and first off, it's just comfy. It fits in the hand, it feels real nice. Now, a ton of mice can be comfortable, but I think what sets this thing apart is the horizontal scroll. Whether I'm editing a video or going through a spreadsheet or just hopping through Notion, having the ability to go side and side through a document just speeds up my workflows. And since I like to review and play with a bunch of different tech, I use a bunch of different systems, and this mouse can support up to 3 different systems. But if clicking a physical key to switch in between systems is a bit too much for you, they heard you, and they thought of that. You can use the Logi Options Plus app to do it with software. And if all of that wasn't enough, the cherry on the top is that the battery life is amazing. 1 minute of charge gets you 3 hours of battery life. Personally, me using it over the last few years, I only charge it 3 or 4 times a year, and I'm good to go. And since I originally bought one of these with my own money, I don't really need 2, so I'd love the chance, if you're okay with it, to give one of these away. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a bit. I'm not just giving this away, by the way. I'm giving the mouse away, this keyboard away, and then the MX Brio away. Let me tell you about the keyboard real quick. Now, this bad boy is the Logitech MX Keys S for Mac. Now, it says Mac, but it'll definitely work with your PC, not a problem. It's just configured primarily with the button layout for a Mac. It sports a full keyboard layout with a numpad, which I definitely need as a software developer and content creator. And I know a lot of you want to know how it sounds like. And of course, you can also use the Logi Options Plus app. You can set up hotkeys, or you can even configure these smart workflows, which they call smart actions. And honestly, I didn't even know they're gonna send over the MX Brio. I used earlier versions of this for my initial webcam when I got my first job in tech. It seems like it got a remaster, and this one looks like it's shooting 4K resolution with up to a 90-degree field of view. Pretty sick. Oh, also giving this away. So to enter the drawing to win all 3 of these amazing things, you just have to comment the word avocado in the comments, and then I will randomly choose a winner. And even if you don't win the free giveaway, that's not a problem. You can still get all of this, the MX lineup, using my link in my description. So good luck, and thanks Logitech for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, I know I mentioned that I love to listen to everything on my Meta AI glasses these days, but they don't have unlimited battery life, and when I do need to charge these puppies, I'm using the Apple AirPod Pros. These are like the go-to AirPods in-ear air devices for most people because they're just all around consistently amazing. Prior to me buying my Meta AI glasses, these things would go with me everywhere. Now, if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, it's super easy to use these. They like automatically, magically pair to your MacBook and your phone, and they switch in between like almost instantaneously. It's super seamless. The active noise cancellation on these guys is really good. If I want to blur out the background of what's happening around me, I can do that. If I'm traveling on a flight and it's less than 3.5 hours, I don't even go for over-ear headphones because these pretty much get the job done. And on a 3-hour flight, I can get those 3 hours of battery easily, and then when I land, I can also still wear them for another about 3 hours. And unlike these Bluetooth glasses, these are always perfectly in sync with what I'm watching. So I can video edit with these, no problem. I can watch videos, and the mouths are perfectly synced up. It sounds like such a small thing, but it's super important, and it's so annoying when the mouths don't match up when you're listening to audio. I meant to say video. Back when I used to leave my house to go to the gym, these would be my go-to headphones for working out. And if you've ever worked out and lift heavy weights, you know that sometimes your face does really weird things when you lift. And when it does those weird things, they just always kind of slip out of my ear. So that's the negative about these headphones. All right, continuing on. Now, if you saw my last video, which who hasn't? It has like 1,300 views. I went car shopping. I was trading in my BMW X3 for a new vehicle. I tried Mercedes, I tried Audi, I tried some other fancy cars, and the car that took the cake was this one. Well, this isn't a car, these are the car keys. So I went with the 2023 Kia Telluride SX X-Line Edition, and it came with these car keys. These are the bulkiest car keys that I have ever seen in my life, but it's technology technically, and I pretty much use these every day running errands and whatnot. Now the car that these go to has been just amazing to drive over the last few months. It's spacious, it's a 7-seater, the windows are super tinted so that it's like, you got some privacy on the inside. All the bells and whistles, massaging chairs, heated and cooled seats, a heads-up display. I was honestly very surprised that Kia made cars that nice. This isn't about the car. I don't carry the car every day. I do carry these, and they're just ridiculous. Look how big they are. First of all, the size, ridiculous. They don't need to be that big. The button selection is nice. You're able to open the trunk, remote start it, but the remote start only works for like 15 yards. If I'm 15 yards away from the car, I might as well just start it with the actual keys. So in my short time of having this car, I've already had to take it into the shop because the battery kept on dying over and over again. So I had to use this backup key that I didn't know was actually in here. I had to Google it. And then you can get into the car with a physical key and turn it on and stuff like that. When I bought the car, I bought it used. Obviously, it's a 2023. I was kind of bummed it didn't come with a spare set of keys, but then the dealer said, no, you got this guy right here. This is apparently the spare key these days. It's basically like a credit card, but it's a key. You just hold it up to the door and then you can get into the car. I wasn't expecting the spare key to look like this, but I think it's pretty cool. I kind of like it and it just slips into my wallet. Speaking of wallets, this technically has a little bit of tech in it, so it's gonna make the video. I'm not sure if you could tell with my black shirt, my black shorts, and my black watch, and my black glasses, and my black hair, and my you get the point. But I'm pretty minimal when it comes to things that I like to carry, own, buy, and use. This is a very minimal but amazing wallet. It's super compact. It carries about 5 cards. It's Italian leather because I got it in Italy when I was on vacation with my family, and it just gets the job done. Now there is the radio frequency ID blocking that prevents cards from being tapped through the leather, which is a nice touch, but it's honestly amazing, super simple, super simplistic, and I can't feel it when it's in my pocket. I bought this from a random guy in a shop in Italy. I don't know who makes it, I don't know the brand, but I like it. All right, next up is a kind of a fun one. Give me a second. Now, I wasn't really expecting to have this in my everyday carry, but here it is. I'm gonna flip the desk mat over so you can see just how wide it is. It's pretty cool. All right, yeah, that looks so much better on the brown desktop. This is the Lenovo Legion 7i, and there's a pretty particular reason that it's in my everyday carry. Recently, I started working with Lenovo Legion as kind of like not a brand ambassador, but I make videos about their tech products for their channels. It's called UGC. And with that fun partnership, they send me a bunch of tech products, and it couldn't have come at a better time. With this new baby, I'm not really able to lock myself in this room and play Call of Duty Warzone with my brothers like I like to do. My setup's over there, by the way. All right, I got ahead of myself. I didn't even introduce this device. This is the Lenovo Legion 7i in the Glacier White. The Glacier White is so sick, by the way. And this thing is a mobile beast, let me tell you. It has the Intel i9 CPU. It has NVIDIA's RTX 4070 for the GPU. Now the display is 16 inches, which isn't the fun part. It goes up to 240 hertz for that really smooth gameplay, which is amazing. And since this thing is quite the beast, I've been able to get over 100 frames per second, like 115 frames per second on Call of Duty Warzone on pretty high settings, which is pretty great for a gaming portable PC. So as I mentioned, gaming in my office just didn't feel right with a screaming baby somewhere in the house. So with this, I can just travel around the house and play where my baby is, which is usually the living room. While he's sleeping, of course. I'm still like a present parent-ish. Now the cons are this thing can get pretty toasty if you're running a game on high performance mode for long durations of time. And it's pretty heavy, not gonna lie. But it probably wouldn't feel as heavy if I was just a little bit stronger. Which brings me to my next item, which is BAM! This is the Whoop. So this is the Whoop 4.0, and as you notice, it is a health tracker, but it doesn't have a screen, which is my favorite part about this health tracker. As a tech person, I feel like I'm already way too connected to technology. I don't need another screen with something telling me notifications that I need to take the dog for a walk. I don't have a dog, but you get the point. So if you've never heard of Whoop and you don't know what this screenless device is, let me tell you why I use it and wear it every single day. It's a 24/7 health tracker, and it tracks your strain and your sleep, and you're supposed to log and do a diary. So it can associate your habits with how it impacts your body and your sleep and your recovery and how hard you can go. You may be asking yourself, how are you supposed to wear this 24/7? You gotta take it off when you shower or swim and when you sleep and when you charge it, but they thought of that. So first of all, this is waterproof, I want to say, or resistant. You can wear it in the shower and it's completely fine. You can wear it while you're swimming. It's completely fine. And when you charge it, you actually get this little charging puck right here. It's a pretty seamless design and it's actually really cool. You just slip this over your band, like so. And then it starts charging while it's on your wrist so that you never need to take this off. I think it's a bit excessive to wear this 24/7 for the rest of your life, but if you wanted to be a person who tracks literally everything, there's no gaps in your analytics, this is a great mechanism for keeping it on your body at all times. But I'm charged up, so. Now this is a really cool device, but I got beef with Whoop. The first thing is that since there is no screen on the actual system, the magic has to be in this app, which is here. It's a free app. But the information isn't quite usable. I have the hardest time finding the relevant information that I need because it's just convoluted and icky. And as a software developer person myself, there's so many ways that I can improve this. So for example, if I tap this chart, I get this interactive chart of my actual data. That's amazing. But if I tap this chart, I just get static information about what strain and health of recovery is. There's just little things like that that are confusing throughout the entire application. So it's not my favorite app, which is one thing. The second thing is that you have to pay for this forever. It's a subscription-based model, so you can't just buy it once and be done. I believe it's like $200 a year that you have to pay for it. And I did pay for it. Is it worth it? Time will tell. We'll see. Now you probably see me using this guy throughout this video. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it's been my go-to phone for the last, well, since October of 2023, I think. Look how cute that guy is. Okay, I've been an iPhone guy for, I don't know, since I've been 11 or 12, and I've always loved the Apple and iOS ecosystem. This is just a great phone through and through. The video quality of the iPhones are pretty great, almost unmatched, especially if you're posting to social media. I know some other phone companies like Samsung and Google are challenging iPhones as far as photos, doing some of their own sharpening mumbo jumbo to make them look a bit more appealing, which is pretty exciting. So the camera is good, but I think the video is just amazing. What's really cool about this camera system is that you can shoot in ProRes and grade the footage later. Log footage is what I'm actually using right now on this screen. The file sizes are a lot bigger, but in post you can color grade it and fine tune it to make it look exactly like you like it. That's what this phone can do, which is wild for a phone. And also the telephoto lens on this is amazing. I've been at some concerts and I just zoom all the way in. And I'm not sure how it does it because the more zoomed in you are, the shakier it should be. But I've been able to get some pretty cool zoomed in footage. Like this footage right here is from a Demi Lovato concert. It wasn't really a concert, she just showed up to a work event once and started performing. Had to whip out the iPhone 15 Pro Max and record, and it did amazing, even in like the low light scenarios. Now I have loved using iPhones. My wife has an iPhone so I can communicate with her easily, but this is the year I think that I give it up. I'm gonna try a couple different new phones out. I just ordered the Samsung Edge, so a video is gonna be coming out about that, and let me know if you have any other phones you want me to check out. And let me pause, if you made it this far in the video, you could like the video. You could press that like button, subscribe maybe comment. You could do all three and I will be sending you a cookie. Thank you for your service. Anyway, I actually have another piece of tech that goes with this iPhone because as a new parent, I've been doing a lot of dishes, washing bottles, and I've been propping my phone up like this when I do the dishes or when I'm on the phone and it just slips down, and that's why you can see your boy keeps cracking his phone. I'm terrible with this glass phone. But I wanted something that was a little bit better than just propping it up on whatever I could find, so I went with this. This is called a Moft Kickstand Flip Stick. It's definitely not called that, but that's what I call it. It's amazing. It MagSafe attaches to the back of your iPhone, and then it unlocks just so many different viewing angles. I could prop it up like this. I could do one of these guys. I could float it down like that, do one of these, one of those, one of these, and then it's pretty stable. Like, even bouncing it around like that, it always snaps back to the position I set it last. This thing was only $40, and it's probably one of the best $40 I spent for my iPhone in a long time. Highly recommend it if you like watching content at different angles. All right, and last but not least is this guy. Just kidding, it's up here. Now this is a bonus because I don't use this as much as I wish I did. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's basically a little vlogging camera that has auto stabilization in it. It's able to shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second, which is wild. It has a 1-inch sensor. I should be using this more often. It's honestly a really cool device and I keep getting attachments for it. Like this is a magnet attachment where I can stick it to a bunch of things. but I just haven't figured out how to unlock the colors and make it look really cinematic, kind of like this camera right here. But it's gonna be kind of in this everyday tech video because I've been trying to practice with this camera for so long because it's so cool. I just really haven't got it into my daily workflow yet. It will get there. All right, this was an everyday carry slash tech I use every day because I do use and carry this tech every day. I just don't leave the house that much anymore. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you might actually like this video as well. And like always, I will see you on the next one. See ya.